Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So today is Saturday, January the 30th. And this video is going to be a little bit of an experiment because, first of all, we have been in the shadow of Mercury retrograde since January 14th. That's the pre-shadow. That's leading up to Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. And as of about maybe 2 hours ago, Mercury is full-on retrograde, and it's in Aquarius. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication and travel, and so when Mercury is in retrograde, things like computers, emails, electronics, cars, verbal communications, text messages kind of go wonky. Now, Aquarius is the sign of all things futuristic like gadgets, cell phones, computers, laptops. So it's some kind of a double whammy. And for me, my Aquarius is in the 4th house. And what's funny is I recently got a new phone and got it worked up. So we have Mercury retrograde in the 4th house in Aquarius, which is electronics, and the 4th house, right? 4th house is home environment, where you live. I've been having trouble with my Wi-Fi on my new phone. Part of the problem is my new phone is slow on the internet, but my iPad and my laptop works fine. I take my new phone to work, where I work in the office. It connects to Wi-Fi there. It works completely fine. So there seems to be a problem between my new phone and the Wi-Fi in my home. So what I did this morning was, and honestly, I should not have done this on Mercury retrograde. We'll see how it works out. But I went down to Walmart, bought me a router, hooked it up exclusively for my cell phone. So far, it's working. Now, the other night, I uploaded a video for you guys called Automatic Writing. And I started uploading that at 6:30 Thursday night. By 7 a.m. Friday morning, it was at 25%. I went to work, connected to Wi-Fi, it uploaded in 10 minutes. So hopefully this router I bought exclusively for my phone will get these things uploaded quicker. I also bought, y'all can't see it, but I have a ring light right here now, which is why I'm not wearing my glasses, because this is what you would see and it's distracting. I also bought a new tripod. Sorry, I dropped my shutter. Oh, and I got a new little shutter that will allow me to take videos and photos and start it without having to get up and touch that button. Some of y'all may have noticed since I got the new phone, my old shutter tripod thing is not working with this new phone. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, suffice it to say, Mercury retrograde is kicking my ass, electronics wise. But I'm working on it. Things are, seem to be working right now. We'll see how this video uploads. But anyway, since this is sort of a new video and I'm doing this during Mercury retrograde, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more today about your magical diary. Now, I talked about your magical diary in my video titled The Alpha Ritual and the White Room. And I know a lot of people will not watch that. And I wanted a video specifically for your magical diary, so people who are interested in the diary, they don't have to sort of skip through the Alpha Ritual and the White Room and all that, and then it would be easier to find. So, first of all, what is the difference between your magical diary and your receipt book, or your book of shadows, or your grimoire? Okay, so this is my receipt book. I know that because it says receipt book on it. And then there's my name right here I put. And this is handwritten, a lot of handwritten spells and rituals. Let me see if I can find something I could show you. Here's just a quick page in my receipt book. This is about book divination. And I have a High on the Hog Bojo bag. In some cases, I have, let's see, longer articles that I've written, and I just didn't have the time or patience to write it out by hand. So some things I copied and I taped it into the book. These are power prayers. And I have some things that I've written out on the computer because I'm a writer and it's easier to write it out on the computer, and then I'll go back and handwrite it in the book at a later date. And as you can see, this is about how many pages I have left to fill up this book. And I did a video, I think it was titled How to Work a Grimoire, and then I talked to you about how I never put information in my book that hasn't worked for me. Like if I go online and I find a cool spell and I think, wow, that's a cool spell, I don't just put it in my book. I cast that, well, I wait till I have a need, and then I work that spell, and I see how it works for me. And if it doesn't work for me, I may tweak it. And so I usually write it on a card. Let's see, what is this right here? So I might write it on a little card or something, and you put it in my book, and I'll scratch things, or a piece of paper, and I'll scratch things out, and I'll change this verb for that verb, or I'll do this in this order, or I'll say, oh, this candle spell might work better as a mojo bag, or vice versa, or this mojo bag might work better as a doll, and I tweak it, and then I do the spell again until I perfect it and it works for me. And not just one time. A spell has to work for me 3 times before I write it in my book. I have to successfully cast that spell 3 times before I put it in my book. So your receipt book is full of spells, rituals, correspondences like herbs, if you're into crystals, things about timing like moon phases, days of the week, planetary hours, anything like that. This is the guts of your magic and your magical practice. It may even have recipes for mojo bags, doll baby, things that you put inside of a doll baby. It may even have actual recipes for things you eat in a magical way. For example, I think the very first page in my book is all about New Year's traditions, and I talk about eating collard greens and black-eyed peas and all that stuff. So that is my receipt book. That's my grimoire. Now, your magical diary is different from your grimoire in that it's a record of all your spells and rituals that you cast and the results of it. So you don't actually write the spell in the book. So like, let's say if I have a spell in my book. Oh my God, let me grab it. I'm just going to open this at random. Okay, to draw a man to you. That's the spell. And I actually don't have the pages numbered in this book for some reason. I'm surprised I don't. But if I had the pages numbered in my grimoire, which I may go back and do at some point. So let's say I'm ready to cast a spell. I would write it in my book. And I would write spell used to draw a man to you in the page I used. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let me go in order. First of all, this is a book, just a little book that I got at Walmart. I wanted a symbol on the front of it, and I chose this symbol from the tarot. This is seen on the Temperance card, and it represents spirit embodied in flesh. And the rubber bands are because I wanted to make my book unique, so I put this symbol on it, and I painted the corners and the spine pink. It's just to clash with the black and make it look unique. And the rubber bands, as I explained before, are for protection, practical, and magical. So, for example, these are the rubber bands that you get from the produce section when you buy a bell pepper or a cauliflower. And so I drew protective runes on this rubber band. You can't see them, but if I was to flip it over, you'd see them. And this keeps anybody from messing with my book. Also, as you can see, I have a tendency to put things in the book, and this sort of the rubber band keeps things from falling out. And I also, sometimes I have things that I want to put in the book, and I don't want to have to take these rubber bands off, stick it in the book, and put it back for later for when I go update it. Sometimes I'll just use this at the back to hold things until I add it, okay? So let me take that off and take the rubber bands off. And I'm going to take this out because I don't want to accidentally reveal anything on camera. So this is a rather new book. Like I said before, this book was started in July 3rd. Now, my old magical diary got filled up. So I'm going to show you an example of how I did my book. The very first thing up here, there's some things I just don't want y'all to see. So I'm going to put my hand on it. This just shows you really quick. So it says Friday, July 3rd, 2020. Some of y'all may know back in last summer, I was having trouble with a man who lived up on the 3rd floor. He was, we were kind of fighting over this parking spot out here, and he got to where he was looking in my window, and because I have a camera in my window, I would see him. And then, so what I wrote was, first thing here is issue or condition. I am being harassed by my upstairs neighbor over a parking space. He's being passive-aggressive, moving his car into the space when I leave and looking in my window, etc. And I wrote course of action. Tonight I started using the alpha ritual to make him back off and leave me alone. Ideally, he should move out. And then I wrote timeline of events. And I wrote July 4th, full moon in Capricorn. During the ritual, I saw flashes of light behind my eyes. That tells me that something's going on. July 5th, I saw the light behind both eyes this time. So that's the power building. July 6th, he's eased off. He's leaving the space open and avoiding walking past my window. July 11th, I've gotten this spot all week and he's leaving me alone. I'm shifting my focus to a new objective. July 23rd, he moved out, right? Now, and then so the next page is some meditation stuff. Here's Monday, July 13th. Here's a new goal, and this is on page 7. Now, this goal, I have issue or condition, course of action, and then timeline events. And the last timeline is July 21st, and I run out of space. But oops, I got something here on this page about altars that I made a special altar, and I wanted to write about it. So at the bottom, I wrote continued on page 10. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And at the top, it says continued from page 4. So that's how you don't have to keep space. Like, this is a big book. So all I'll do is when I run out of space on one page, I just continue it at the next blank page. And so as you go through the book, you will keep making your notes until that goal is no longer valid, and or you don't want to do it anymore, or you achieved your goal. So again, I numbered the pages in here, and those of you who are just beginning, my suggestion to you is to use the alpha ritual that I explained. Use it every day until you get what you want, or you decide that this goal is just no longer applicable. It's not something I want to work on. And then as you get more proficient with your rituals and things, you can work on more goals. Like me personally, I try to limit myself to 4 goals at a time. And then once a goal is achieved and I go down to 3, if there's nothing new I want to work on, I'll just work on those 3 goals. And what I do is when I have one goal, I work on that one goal every day, except maybe when I'm sick, which I rarely get sick. And honestly, now that we're in COVID and we're all washing our hands and wearing masks, I haven't even had the sniffles in a long time. So anyway, once you get more than one goal, you can break it up by doing it, say, like once a week, and you can pull in the moon phases. So let's say I'm working on money. Friday's good for money or love. So let's say I'm working on 2 goals right now. I'm working on trying to draw a lover, and I'm trying to draw in money. So I might work on Tuesdays for the lover, because Tuesday's related to Mars and sex. And on Fridays, I would work for drawing in prosperity. Now if I want to pull in the moon phases during the waxing moon being new to full, I would work on Tuesdays during the waxing moon. I would work on drawing a lover to me, either a specific person if I want to go that route, or someone who has the qualities that I desire in a mate. And then during the waxing moon, I would work for a lover by helping me to eliminate undesirable people, like to help me decide, like if I'm trying to decide between 2 people, or something, I would try to, narrow it down by getting rid of, not in a bad way, just moving them away. Or let's say there's someone bothering you who you're not interested in. Maybe you'll work on banishing that stalker or losing their interest to sort of open up space in your life to where you can fully work on the lover. Then on Fridays, while the moon is waxing or growing, you would work to draw money to you. And then when the moon flips to waning, you would work on banishing the opposite, which would be not prosperity, poverty. Lowering your bills, trying to lower your interest rate. That'd be a good time to call your bank or lender and try to consolidate your debt, lower your interest rate, things of that nature. So again, you write your spells in your receipt book, but you recite the results of those spells in your diary. And that way, these two books work together. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video and found some type of value in it. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm hoping to do a new video tomorrow. We're going to see how this one uploaded. If you have any questions about your receipt book or your magical diary, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer. Have a great weekend.